Bienvenidos, welcome. I'm not a foodie, and today I'm cooking easy Dutch oven enchilada casserole standing out in the field. Stick around and I'll show you how I do it. So I got my 10-inch shallow Dutch oven. You could also do this in your 10-inch skillet in the house. Have a little bit of oil in there. I'm going to add the green peppers first. I want to soften them up. And like with all of my recipes, if you don't like green peppers, don't put them in there. Some of you may be saying jalapeno peppers. Yep, you could substitute jalapeno peppers instead of green peppers. Green bell peppers, I have a small green bell pepper, fairly well diced up. But since this is for my wife, I can't use jalapenos. So if you want to swap it out and use jalapeno peppers instead for that flavor with a little bit of heat, swap it out. That's the way to go. Start them softening a little bit. I'm putting them in order because I like the green bell pepper a little bit softer. And this goes by fairly quick. I already have my coals fired up, lit up, because this will go fast. So I have one small to medium shallot, finely diced. That's about a half a cup. If you want to use yellow or white onions, if that's what you have, go ahead and use them. I got it cranked up a little bit today because of the wind. Getting a little bit of a sweat on those, on the onions and the green pepper. And here I'm adding 1.5 pounds of hamburger. I'm going to break that up. And this will work with 1 pound, probably clear up to 2 pounds of burger. And to that I'm going to add taco seasoning, and about the rule of thumb, I buy this in these jars because it's cheaper that way. Rule of thumb is I use about a tablespoon per pound, so I'm going to put 1.5 tablespoons in. And to that a teaspoon of salt. And if you want to use lean burger, you could use that. 80-20 works good. And if you use the 80-20, you don't have to worry, we're not draining this. And to that I'm going to add 3 cloves of garlic, diced up. And I've cooked this multiple, different ways. I've cooked this on the campfire, cooked this in the house quite a bit because it's easy to do. I'm going to give that a minute and let that brown up, and we'll be back. The meat does not have to be 100% done, 90% done, because we're going to put the coals on it. And if you was in the kitchen, you'd be throwing it in the oven for about 15 minutes at 350 degrees. This is a good beginner Dutch oven recipe because temperature isn't critical, because everything's pretty much going to be cooked. So, and that's pretty much done there, so we'll turn the heat off. Same as if you was in the kitchen. Turn the heat off. The cast iron is going to continue to stay hot. Cook it a little bit more. So I'm using canned enchilada sauce. Remember, the title of this will probably be easy. I do have recipes to make my own enchilada sauce, but since we're doing a Dutch oven outside and it's going to be easy, I'm using canned. I had recently been using other brands of enchilada sauce until I tasted it right out of the can, and it tasted like a can. And this right out of the can, this one's medium. Don't tell my wife. So a spoon of this, tasting it, it does have a little bit of heat, but by the time you add the meat, the cheese, everything else, it tames it down a little bit. The El Paso does have a hot one, which will be a little bit hotter at the end, but all the ingredients that are not hot kind of tames this down a little bit. And this tasted way better than the other ones I've tried just right out of the can. Provided, even when it's cooked, would help it to taste better, but if it starts better at the beginning, it should be even better after it's cooked. So that's my thought behind that. So if someone's going to say, hey, if you made your own it tastes better, I know. I have a recipe for that, but this one's easy, so we're going to do it this way. Because when you're packed in somewhere, I don't bring all my spices. I bring my spices combined for different recipes. But when it's easy, you can find something good already in a can. That's what I'm going to use. This is one 10-ounce can, and this will work whether you're using 1 pound, 2 pounds of meat. If you're using 1 pound of meat, you're going to be a little bit more saucier, but you can deal that with the corn chips. The corn chips will absorb that moisture. That's why I'm not draining the meat. So I think I will hit that with the fire for just a minute. So if any of these ingredients you don't like to cook with, take them out. Add what you do like. My recipes are basically to give people an idea that they can take and make their own. Not to say you have to do it my way, and if you don't do it my way, it's not the best. But this is good. And also makes great leftovers. Just gonna heat that a little bit. Then we'll move on. So this has come up to a quick simmer. So I'm going to go ahead and shut that off again. So I have a 3.8 ounce can of sliced olives. Granted, they don't bring really a lot of flavor to the table, but I like the texture of them, so that's again an optional. So I'm basically going to use half this bag, 15 ounce bag. And I'm going to do a rough breakup on those, some more fine than others. The fine chips basically help absorb the excess moisture that may be in the oven, in the pot. So basically of various sizes. Yeah, if you had a bigger pot and wanted to make this for more people, this would be one of the ingredients. You'd use the whole bag, basically as a filler. So here I have a 7 ounce bag of shredded cheese, and this is the 4 cheese Mexican style. And the rest of the sliced olives. And this is actually very reminiscent of a recipe my mom used to cook, and she called it Western beef squares. So you might be going, wow, that's way too many coals on the top for 350. Yeah, I'm about 420. 8 coals on the bottom, that many on top. That's what I had left. They burned down. So basically I'm looking to bring it back up to temperature, melt the cheese, get a little bit of color on top of that cheese, and when that's done, we're done. If you're in the kitchen, 350 degrees, 15 to 18 minutes would do it, and you're ready to eat. So we'll be back when this is done. It's bubbling pretty good. So I have some serranos peppers and a few jalapenos. I'm going to hit them with a little bit of olive oil. I have some of this tahini seasoning, and this has chilies in it plus some lime flavoring. Dash of that on there. And then I'm going to add some taco seasoning to that. Kind of tones down the strong lime flavor. I have my Sportsman grill here heated up, full throttle. Give them a quick char on there. Like to give a shout out to the ladies I met this morning at the yard sale. That was fun talking to you. Enjoyed that. That's one of the things I like about yard sales, getting to meet people and talk to them. After the event 4 years ago, we're starting to get back in the habit of having yard sales and people getting out and visiting with people again. Also like to thank my subscribers. Appreciate that. We've topped over 500 now. I feel honored to have that many people wanting to watch this. And if you haven't, check out my mission statement video. That'll explain why I'm cooking what I am cooking and how I even got started doing this. When the boys were home, I used to make this in a big aluminum pan, about 3 times the size. And when you're patient and let it set up, it'll come out like that, or you can eat it fresh out of the pot. You can garnish that with a couple serranos. Some sour cream, and a dash of hot sauce. So there you go, easy Dutch oven casserole, cooked outside, standing in the field. Good for the weekends, good for the weekdays, good anytime. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later.